Dear students, welcome to Chandbagh School Biology Department and I am Sumer Anwar. Today we are going to start lesson 1 of 10 from the chapter 20, that is molecular genetics, for the grade 11 students. And the topic I am going to discuss today is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Now what is DNA? The chemical that is the basis of inheritance is deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. Now what is inheritance? Inheritance is basically the transmission of characters from parents to offsprings or from one generation to the other generation. DNA is found in chromosomes which are present in the nucleus of a cell. So here is a diagram that shows a cell. It contains nucleus. Within the nucleus, chromosome is present. Chromosome contains DNA. So here DNA is shown. And on DNA, gene is present. I will explain all of these one by one. So first of all, DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, is a molecule that carries genetic information. The information carried by the DNA is important for the cellular functions, the functions that are carried out by the cell. For example, cell division and cell differentiation. Differentiation means during the growth and for the growth and development of the cell. Cells would not be able to carry out these vital functions without DNA. Thus, almost all the cells in your body contain DNA inside their nuclei. So, about 2 meters of DNA can be found in each cell nucleus. So, how this 2 meters of DNA is packed, we will discuss in the later slides. So chromosomes. Chromosomes are thread-like structures only visible during cell division. So remember that they are visible only during the process of cell division, either mitosis or meiosis. We have already discussed mitosis and meiosis in detail. Each chromosome is composed of protein and a long molecule of DNA. So DNA is present, it also contains protein. The DNA is greatly folded and coiled so that it fits into the chromosome. Here is a diagram that shows the difference between chromatin, chromatid and chromosomes. So it is very important to understand the difference between all of these. First of all, chromatin. All the DNA proteins in the nucleus condenses to form chromosome during mitosis. So, chromosomes are formed when the chromatin condensed. Condensed chromatin is known as chromosome. Either two sister chromatids or one chromatid is present. So, what is meant by chromatid? Exact copy of a chromosome that becomes visible at the start of mitosis is called as chromatid. So here is a diagram that shows sister chromatid. They are the exact copy. Here unduplicated chromosome is shown while the other one is the duplicated after the DNA replication. So duplicated one contains sister chromatid and centromere is also present here. And on the chromosome genes are also present. Here is a diagram of one chromosome. In order to get better idea about the structure of the chromosome, two identical chromatids, one is an exact copy of the other. Why exact copy? Because they are produced by the process of DNA replication. They replicate and each contains one DNA molecule. P arm, short arm structure of the chromosome, while Q arm is the long arm structure of the chromosome. Centromere, constricted point of the chromosome, is known as the centromere. Here is a DNA molecule, long string-like DNA molecule formed into a compact structure by proteins called as histone proteins. So DNA coiled around histone proteins. DNA and chromosomes. How can we differentiate between them? DNA is a molecule that carries genetic information. I have already mentioned. Chromosomes is the highest organized structure of the DNA, double helix with proteins. So here proteins are present, histone proteins. DNA is made up of nucleotide monomers, single units of 4 bases: adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine. I will explain them in detail in the coming slides. Now chromosome is made up of condensed DNA double helix with histone proteins. DNA carries genetic information within the cell, while chromosomes organization of DNA and histone proteins into chromosomes let the transcription to be controlled. Now, transcription is a process in which DNA is transcribed into RNA. Now, what is gene? Gene is basically the unit of inheritance. A small segment of DNA carries a gene that stores information to make a single polypeptide. Poly means many, peptide means bond formed between proteins. So polypeptides are used to make proteins, and proteins are responsible for determining the characteristics of an organism. So that's why they are described as the unit of inheritance. Features of an organism are controlled by genes. So genes control either visible features of an organism, for example, sex of an organism, height, flower color, skin pigmentation. These are the visible features that are controlled by genes. Genes can also control the non-visible features of an organism, for example, blood group or the type of hemoglobin that is present in the red blood cells. So here is the slide that shows how is DNA organized into your cells. So starting from here, there is the magnified portion of the DNA. Magnified portion of the DNA, gene 1 and gene 2 are shown. A small segment of DNA carries a gene that stores information used to make a single polypeptide. Polypeptides are used to make proteins, and proteins are responsible for determining the characteristics of an organism. I have already discussed what is the role of a gene in my previous slide. So this is the magnified portion of the DNA. DNA double helix. Each DNA molecule consists of two strands. As you can see here with the help of diagram, two strands are present in a DNA molecule. So these two strands will twisted around each other to form a double helix. Now what is meant by helix? A helix is a coiled structure like a corkscrew or a spring. So it is a coiled structure in the form of a helix. So next come the chromatin thread. How chromatin thread are coiled around the histone proteins are shown here. A molecule of DNA is wrapped around histone proteins to form a single chromatin thread. So you can see here, it is the magnified portion of a chromatin thread. After that, chromatin threads are shown inside the nucleus. This is the nucleus. During cell division, chromatin threads coil tightly into structures called as chromosomes inside the cell nucleus. So this is basically the diagram of a cell. It contains nucleus inside the cell center. So nucleus is surrounded by a double membrane called as the nuclear membrane or a nuclear envelope. Nuclear envelope contains nuclear pores. So here is the nucleus shown in the center of the cell, cytoplasm and cell membrane. So this is how the DNA is organized inside your cells. Now, what is the structure of the DNA? The basic unit of the DNA is called as the nucleotide. Here is a DNA nucleotide. DNA is made up of nucleotide. Each nucleotide is made up of three important things. First of all, nucleotide contain sugar, that is deoxyribose in case of DNA. DNA deoxyribose. So 5 carbon sugar, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbon sugar is present. At the carbon number 5, phosphate group is attached, while at carbon number 1, nitrogenous base, either adenine, guanine, cytosine or thymine. These are the names of the nitrogenous bases. They are attached to the carbon number 1 of the pentose sugar. Pentose means 5 carbon sugar, and in case of DNA it is deoxyribose. So here is a structure of DNA nucleotide. These type of nucleotides will combine and form a polynucleotide. So nitrogenous bases in DNA, there are 4 types of nitrogenous bases. Adenine represented by capital A, cytosine capital C, thymine capital T and guanine capital G. So double helical DNA molecule. The structure of DNA molecule is the famous double helix. As I have already discussed during the organization slide, it is rather like a twisted ladder. The two strands are anti-parallel polynucleotide chains, that is they run in opposite direction, that is from 5' to 3' end and 3' to 5' end. I will explain them with the help of diagram. So here is a little information. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick proposed double helix DNA model on the basis of X-ray diffraction studies with the photographs of DNA taken by Maurice Wilkins and Franklin. So here is a diagram that shows the structure of the DNA double helix. Two strands of DNA are shown. These are the sugar-phosphate backbone. Sugar and phosphate are present here, and in the center, nitrogenous bases are present. Adenine always pair with thymine, guanine always pair with cytosine. So rule of base pairing, adenine always bonds with thymine, cytosine always bonds with guanine. Adenine and thymine are thus called complementary bases. They complement each other. Cytosine and guanine are also complementary to each other. Complementary bases are joined by means of hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds are present in order to join the bases in the center of the double helix of the DNA. 3 hydrogen bonds join G and C. 2 hydrogen bonds join A and T. You should remember how many hydrogen bonds are present in each pairing of the nitrogenous bases. So this is the diagram that will explain you what is meant by polynucleotide. So here is the one strand of the DNA double helix. Here is the second one. On the strand, for example, just like the ladders, so it contains sugar phosphate backbone, and the other one also contains the sugar phosphate backbone. You can see here both strands are anti-parallel. Here sugar on this side, phosphate on the other side. So here is the opposite direction. One strand moves in the 5' to 3' direction, while the other strand moves from the 3' to 5' direction. So sugar phosphate backbone is known as the polynucleotide. It is the nucleotide. You can see here it contains sugar, phosphate and here cytosine, that is the nitrogenous base. So any nitrogenous base can be present here. In place of cytosine it might be thymine, adenine or any of the 4 nitrogenous bases. So it is the nucleotide. When many nucleotides combine together, they form a structure called as the polynucleotide. So here is one polynucleotide, here is the other one. So both polynucleotide strands will run in opposite direction. They are anti-parallel. In between these strands, nitrogenous bases are present and they form a pair. For example, guanine always present with cytosine, and in between them 3 hydrogen bonds will be present, while adenine always pair with the thymine and 2 hydrogen bonds will be present. So it is important to note down here that in a DNA molecule, the ratios of adenine to thymine, that is A/T, and cytosine to guanine, C/G, are always 1:1. For example, if adenine is present 40%, thymine will also be present 40%. If cytosine is present, for example, 30%, guanine will always be present 30%. So they are present in ratio of 1:1. So here is the diagram that shows the DNA coiling of the DNA. Uncoiled DNA resembles a ladder 2D structure, while here is the DNA ladder shown here, that is the double helix 3D structures. Here is the lesson overview. These are the questions given. You have to write down the answer and take a picture and send on my WhatsApp number. If you have any problem related to the topic, feel free to ask. I have discussed all of the answers related to the given questions in the lesson we have discussed. Thanks for watching.